I hope it's been a stimulating and useful day for you. I want to take a moment to thank a few folks who made this day possible. First, I want to thank our partners, the Local Government Commission and Local Government Sustainable Energy Coalition. And I specifically want to thank Margaret Bruce, Grace Kaufman, and Dustinette McCauley-Ducouli, who helped with program planning and volunteer recruitment and management in managing our scholarship program. And deep gratitude to Kate Taylor. I don't know if Kate's in the room. There she is. So Kate was our event coordinator, and she kept me on track, which I can tell you is a task, and managed the myriad of details that is necessary for an event of this size, and always with a smile. And I want to thank my incredible team at the Center for Climate Protection. Maybe the board and the staff could stand, those of you who are in the room. And I particularly want to thank Lorianne Barber, Woody Hastings, Stacy Meinzen, Nina Turner, and Ann Hancock, who through her example every day makes me try just a little bit harder. And finally, thanks to our sponsors, who really made this event possible. We wouldn't have had a scholarship program. We wouldn't be able to record. Our audio-video budget would have been tiny without their participation. There really would have been no symposium. So I want to thank you for your support of community choice and your support of climate protection. Let's give them a hand. So we're going to be sending you all out tomorrow an evaluation via email. It's going to be a Survey Monkey, and I really encourage you to fill that out. Your unvarnished feedback would be a great thing. I read all of those, and I try the best I can to incorporate them into future programs. So don't soft pedal what you're thinking. And in closing, I just want to take a moment and take you back in time just a few years to the first symposium in September 2014. There were 2 operating CCAs. Lancaster was in the oven. And I had to call up business people and go, hey, you really ought to get in on this thing. You know, community choice is going to be the next thing. And they were like, community what? So I want you to appreciate that moment we had with the banners out here and how far you have come and how hard you have worked to get here. And just realize that you are recreating the landscape, the energy landscape of California together. Give yourselves a hand for that. And how about that Dan Cameron earlier? I liked your theory there, Jeff. It would explain a lot. Yeah, 5 guys, yeah. He certainly has about 5 times the operating brain power that I have. But you know, one of the things that I think I took away from his presentation is how the energy system of the future is about distributed resources. And you know, he talked about solar, he talked about storage, he talked about energy efficiency, but that's where things are going. And we've made some investments in that regard with our partners. We've been working with MCE Clean Energy and our partners at Terra Verde Energy on a project that is funded through the California Energy Commission to create a program design that integrates and optimizes the best DER applications for customers and the distribution grid. And when that program design is ready, it will be shared with all CCAs in California. And likewise, we've just begun a project with National Renewable Energies Lab with Lancaster Choice Energy, Peninsula Clean Energy, and Terra Verde Energy again, to develop an advanced rate structure that will incentivize DER deployments. These are just things that we're involved with. Now, I want you to turn for a second here and see all the amazing things that CCAs are doing. This is what's happening now. This isn't some future date. So Beth Vaughn was good enough. This was a slide she shared at a webinar in May, a CPX webinar. And she said, you can show this, but it's not like completely finished. So, you know, I want you to give that caveat. But what I want you to look at is just look at the breadth of programs that are represented here. I mean, there is everything from storage to EV incentive, demand response, fuel switching to on-bill financing. And this is something that CCAs can do because you are agile and you know your communities and you can customize programs to meet the needs of those communities. The utilities cannot do this. And I think we heard in the last panel, and even from Commissioner Guzman Aceves from the CPUC, that this is your value add. So I really hope that's something you take away from today. And my challenge for you is next time we convene, I want this to be all green. And for those of you who add to the list new programs that reduce greenhouse gas emissions and serve your customers, particularly your low-income customers, I promise you that we will feature you at future symposiums on the Clean Power Exchange platform because you will be driving where we need to go. And a few of you may remember that last time we convened in Long Beach, President Picker from the CPUC issued a challenge. I think once we have this chart filled out, we can say to President Picker, we are getting it done. We are decarbonizing the transportation sector and the building sector. Work with us to go faster. So I'm going to leave you, I hope, with something that will leave you with a smile. In case you forget the name of the folks who brought you this event, and that does happen, believe me, we have a little piece of frivolity for you. And as Ann mentioned earlier, this is the world premiere for this video, I'm just saying, so you get to see it first. Can we roll the video?
So before we start, do you know the name of the organization that Ann Hancock runs?
It's the Center for...
Sonoma Climate Center? No, that isn't right. Clean Air Center? No.
The Climate Situation Center. It's the Climate Defense League.
Sonoma Clean Air Bureau?
Climate...
I still haven't named it yet.
It's the Center for Climate Protection. It's not the Climate Control Center. We can't just push a button and make global climate change not a thing. It's the Center for Climate Protection. We want to protect our climate. Why? Well, we've got all this gas. Not that gas. Greenhouse gas. Way too much greenhouse gas. Which is making our climate go from this to this. And as it turns out, a lot of stuff we like depends on our climate. Like our grandchildren and their grandchildren and all future babies. Center for Climate Protection. How do we protect the climate? We reduce greenhouse gas emissions at speed and scale. That means reductions that are big and fast.
We tell greenhouse gases to
The Center for Climate Protection.
Did you know that nearly 4 out of 5 trips in Sonoma County are made by single-occupant, fossil fuel-powered smog machines?
Center for Climate Protection. People ask us all the time, what does it feel like to be heroes? We just smile and say, feels dope. Center for Climate Protection! Some people think we're too passionate about climate protection. Is that true? I don't know. To reduce methane emissions, did we invent bags to collect cow farts? Maybe. If we could ride around on magical carbon-eating rainbow pegasi like majestic environmental wizards, would we? Yes. And we'd use sustainability sparkles to turn everyone's cars into hybrid vehicles powered by solar, electric, wind, and farmers markets. But until that happens, we'll keep protecting our climate non-magically by working with business, government, youth, and the broader community to advance practical, science-based solutions for significant greenhouse gas emissions reductions. So instead of this, we stay like this. The Center for Climate Protection.
And of course, after that, there's only one thing I can say, which is, Thank you. The reception is going to be upstairs to your right. Look forward to seeing you there.